for AI 900, the first link that comes up is your AI fundamentals. And once again, you have colleagues who already have appeared for examinations, so you can get in touch with them as well in order to understand how exactly can you register for the exam. Now, if you scroll down a bit, there will be this option called schedule through Pearson VUE. Now, over here, click on the schedule exam button after selecting the country where you are appearing for the exam from. So I'm in India, so I'll choose India. And the price for the same is 3,691 for Indian folks. For people in other countries, you can go ahead and choose your respective country in order to check the price for you. Once you are done, click on the schedule exam button. Now, the first thing that you'll have to do is just fill in these basic few bunch of information, predefined values, and click on submit. Okay. Now, someone asked yesterday what exact, like, where would you appear for the exam from? Would you appear for the exam online, or would you be able to go to a test center in order to appear for the exam? Well, there are two choices, either online or in person at a test center. But over here in this session, we are only going to discuss about the second option, that is registering for the exam online, because majority of the people choose the second option only. So choose the second option, that is online with OnView. Now, there are a few preparations that you need to make. First of all, you will have to use a personal computer, which should have a webcam connection and a stable internet connection. So you can run a system test in order to check whether your computer meets the requirements or not to appear for the exam. The next thing is your testing space. Your testing space should be uh, a separated and isolated room from the rest of your house. It should not have any noise inside of it. And when you are appearing for the exam, there should not be anyone that appears in the room. Even someone's shadow appearing across the webcam can put you in trouble. I'm going to discuss about the rules and regulations later on. You should have your government issued ID card during the examination, because before the start of the examination, it would be verified. And whenever you have registered for the examination, it is always recommended to appear 30 minutes before the examination starts. This is important because, like, you'll have to go through some procedures. You'll have to go through some procedures that you'll have to perform before actually starting the exam. So once you are registering for the examination, when you are registering for the exam, make sure to go through all these different details. Then click on next. Okay, choose the respective language that you are comfortable with. So I'll go ahead with English. Okay, and there are a bunch of agreements. So you can just click on yes on all of them and select next. So this is an important part. Okay, these are some policies and some rules and regulations that are being recommended. So you need to follow them strictly. Now, the first two or three instructions mentioned over here, you can go ahead and skip reading them, but I'll recommend you to read them. However, the most important part is this one. Starting from here, there are some rules and regulations that are being mentioned. For example, if any third party is detected as being present, whether visible or not, even if they are overheard, okay, or any other situation happens where the proctor might think there is someone else in the room with you, the examination will be cancelled right away and you will not receive any refund. Now, this is a bit difficult to deal with. Therefore, I will always recommend you to appear for the examination in a completely empty room. Always make sure the room is completely empty and it should not have any external noise coming inside of it. And even if you have a window in the back end, for example, if you have your computer over here, your webcam is somewhere over here, and you are appearing for the exam from this position, and you have a window behind you such that the light from the window is straight away entering the webcam, make sure to cover the window with the webcam and turn your light on in the room, because otherwise the proctor is going to ask you to do that anyways. And the examination, if you are appearing for it online, there will be a human proctor, by the way. Okay, so it will not be online proctored. It will be a human proctor sitting at the opposite end. Now, if the proctor thinks that you are basically trying to cheat, or if the proctor gets suspicious of you, then the proctor is going to reach out to you over the chat window. They're going to warn you the first time. Now, even if you are like, even if the proctor gets suspicious for the second time, this time around the proctor is not going to be considerate. Okay, depending on actually how the proctor is, how their mood is. On the second time, they can cancel your exam right away and they won't even let you speak, or they won't even let you justify your actions. So make sure to not let the proctor get suspicious at any point of time. And if the exam gets cancelled, you are not going to get a refund. And as you have already noticed, the examination is expensive. So make sure it does not get cancelled anyway. For the rest of the policies, you can once again agree with them. Now, once you scroll down in the admission policy, once again, these are a bunch of important things that you need to read and that you need to keep in mind. For example, before the actual day of the examination, make sure to test your system and your internet connection and use the same testing space, computer, and internet connection on the exam. Always use a personal computer with a webcam, and your webcam should be always working and it should be always turned on throughout the exam. If you are appearing for the exam from an office, make sure to inform about that to your network administrator, and make sure you have a reliable, fast internet to download the exam and support a web connection. Now, it might happen in the worst case that during the examination, your internet connectivity goes off, or maybe you face a light out. What are you going to do at that point is, the moment your internet connection gets cut, or if you face a light cut, at that point, do not panic. Okay. Immediately get up from in front of your system and turn the hotspot of your mobile phone on. Get back to your computer and try to see whether your computer is automatically reconnecting to the WhatsApp or not, which would be the case the moment it gets disconnected. Now, the moment it connects to the mobile hotspot, at that point, the examination is going to resume. But if the internet connection gets cut off and you simply sit idly for maybe more than 1 minute or maybe more than 2 minutes, in that case, the examination might get cancelled. So please do not do that. And even if this is the case that your exam got cancelled for a light cut, you will not get a refund. You're not going to get a refund. So make sure to turn your phone's hotspot on if the power goes out at any point of time. Now, before appearing for the examination, you will have to present a government issued ID card. This ID card can be a passport, it can be a driving license, it can be any sort of identification card, a non-United States based military ID card, registration card. These can be presented before the proctor. Unacceptable forms of ID, they include different types of IDs like expired ID cards, okay, government issued name change documents with government ID. However, if your ID is not considered valid, you will not be permitted to complete the examination and you will not even receive a refund. So make sure to use a passport or a driving license. The next thing is prepare your testing space properly. Okay. So while preparing for the testing space, find a quiet, disruption-free, and well-lit space, because at the moment the examination starts, the proctor is going to ask you to show them around the room with your webcam. So make sure that your webcam, or if you are appearing from for the examination from a laptop, make sure you have all the wired connections disconnected from your laptop. For example, if you have a broadband or if you have your charger plugged in, a mouse connection and all. Oh, by the way, earphones or headphones or any other forms of audio device is not allowed. So you will have to rely on the speaker of your computer, by the way. You will be required to take 4 photos of your testing space. You can only use one particular monitor and your desk should be completely clear. Now, the photos that your testing space that you will have to upload, let us assume once again this is your computer and you are over here. So the 4 pictures that you will have to click are from the left hand side, from the right hand side, from in front, and from behind. Okay, these are the 4 different pictures that you will have to click for your system. Now, all of these stuff are done during the first 30 minutes. Therefore, it is recommended to log in 30 minutes early. Whenever you register for the examination, you will receive a link over your email that gives you a link to sign into the exam or check into the exam. When you check into the exam, there will be a browser which is called the OnVUE browser. The name of the browser is OnVUE. This browser will be downloaded on your system. In this browser, your unique ID or your roll number, you can say, it will be automatically populated. The access key value, basically, it will be automatically populated. Now, once you have successfully signed into the OnVUE browser, after that, these are the things that you will have to do. You will have to basically upload pictures of yourself. You will have to upload pictures of your government issued ID card. You will have to upload pictures of your testing space. You will also have to verify something with your mobile phone. And once these things are done, the mobile phone needs to be kept behind your back at a table or someplace. It should be out of your reach, but it should be visible from the webcam. That once again depends on the proctor. Some proctors that I have encountered, they ask you to show where exactly is your mobile phone. But some of them, they just don't care. They're super chill. So you are lucky if you encounter a proctor like that. Now, these 4 pictures that you are going to upload, these are a bit critical in nature because if you have, let us say, behind your computer, if you have a wall, and on this wall you have some posters which are attached over here, there is a possibility that the proctor might ask you to get them down. Or if there is a piece of article that is put on the wall where something is written, or if you have something written on the table, the desk on which your computer is, at that point of time, the proctor might ask you to remove whatever is written. So if you have something written on your desk, try to cover it with a cloth. If you have maybe a table just on the right hand side of your computer desk where there might be some books and stuff kept, click the picture in such a way so that this particular table is not visible. Otherwise, they might ask you to move this table. So there are these bunch of rules and regulations that you will have to comply with. So make sure to upload the pictures properly so that the proctor, they do not get suspicious even before the examination starts. Once that is done, you will have to keep your phone behind your back. Now, at one point of time, while checking into the examination by going through these different processes, they will ask you, one of the processes will ask you if you have a mobile phone or not for further verification. Try to click I do not have a mobile phone so that the entire process can be completed over the OnVUE platform itself. You will get what I mean when you are actually registering for the examination. Now, if you're more than 15 minutes late after the scheduled time, you will not be able to begin the exam and you will not get a refund as well. So please do not be late. And for developers, I am aware of the fact that some of you might have a dual monitor setup. Please do not use the second monitor. The login link would be available over your confirmation email itself. You can check your upcoming appointment, and once you have signed into the OnVUE browser, you can follow the prompts that will be shown for completing the check-in process. You will need to complete the check-in process before you can actually start the exam. Some different type of stuff that are not available, that are not allowed during the examination are mobile phones, smartwatches, or any sort of watches, or anything that the proctor might not be okay with. No one else should appear through the webcam during the exam. And this I cannot emphasize enough that make sure no one is even visible or even heard through your system's microphone when the examination happens. And no one's voice should be heard or no one's even shadow should be visible on the background. No speaking allowed during examination. So do not read the questions out aloud or you might get a warning. If you want to reschedule the examination, make sure to do it 24 hours before the scheduled exam date. Similarly, if you need to cancel the exam, make sure to do it before 24 hours of the exam. And for rescheduling and cancellation, the details will be available over the mail. Once you have gone through all of these different instructions, click on agree and proceed next. Now in the next part, you can go ahead and choose the preferred language for the proctor to speak. There are English and Japanese. So English is something that most of you will select. Next. Now, if your time zone is not being populated automatically, you can choose that option. Click on yes, that's right. Now here you can choose where would you like at which date would you want to appear for the exam. Choose whatever date works for you. For example, weekends are usually completely blocked. So try to choose any weekdays. Scroll down a bit. Here you can click on this explore more times option in order to find a time that works the best for you. Your appointment is 65 minutes long, 5 minutes for the basic login part and stuff. The actual examination is going to be of 60 minutes long, and you will have to check in 30 minutes before the exam time. Now, during these different time zones, you can choose whatever time works the best for you. For example, if you, let us say, wanted to appear for the exam at 2:15 during the afternoon, you can book this appointment after you have properly selected the date and time to appear for the exam. Now, once all of this is done, scroll down, go ahead and go through all your details that you have added. Make sure to go through everything properly. Then you can go ahead and proceed to checkout. Now over here, if you have a voucher or a promo code, apply it from this button, add a voucher or promo code, apply it over here and click on the apply button. Once that is done, you would be able to register for the exam. And the moment you do so, you will receive an email that specifies that your appointment has been scheduled along with the date. Now the examination, it usually requires 700 out of 1000 pass. 700 is the passing marks and the full marks being 1000. The approximate weightage that each and every question contains, there is no surety about that because the number of questions are usually something ranging between 40 to 60. It is not guaranteed how many questions you will get, but the questions are usually between 40 to 60. Usually, for the expert level examination, for the expert level exam and for the associate level examination, during the starting of the examination, you will be asked if you are a beginner, an intermediate, or an advanced level person for the course. If you choose beginner for all of the questions, you will usually get 60 questions. But the questions will be easy. However, if you choose expert, there will be 40 questions. But then again, that is not guaranteed. It might be so that even if you chose the expert level, you still get 50 questions or something like that. That completely depends on your luck. And yes, the passing marks is 700. Now, if by chance you are not able to clear the examination on the first attempt, the next attempt is something that you can take after 24 hours of the first attempt. After 24 hours of the next attempt. So make sure to pass the examination on the first try itself because on the second try, you will once again have to register for the exam by paying that examination registration fees. Now, once the examination is successfully cleared, by the way, since this is a fundamental level certification, there is no hassle of renewing it. No need to do so. But for associate or expert level certifications, you will have to renew these certifications after 6 months of passing it. After 6 months of passing it, in the next 6 months, you will get the chance to renew the certification. And for renewal, usually there is no proctor or there is no registration cost associated. So that is the basic details of the examinations along with the rules and regulations. Now, let me go back to the homepage of AI 900. Now, as I discussed, link for quizzes and stuff. Okay, and where would you study from? Okay, some of you were asking that, and where exactly would we study for the examination from? So the thing is, this course URL that we have already shared with you, this course URL would take you through all the documentations that are associated with AI 900. So if you simply study all of these different questions, all of these different documentations, it would help you out a lot in actually appearing for the examination and passing the exam. Other than that, quiz that you can take, if you scroll down a bit down, there will be an option called practice for the exam. So here you can launch the sandbox to get an actual demo of how the environment feels like, or you can take this practice assessment that will contain a bunch of quizzes that you can use to appear before appearing for the exam. But then again, this quiz is going to contain questions that are covered in the documentation that I have shared with you. So make sure to actually go through the course URL before appearing for this practice assessment, even though you can take the practice assessment any number of times. So let me go ahead and share this. Okay, lots of questions. Which exams have renewal? Harshad, examinations like associate and expert level examinations have renewal. Fundamental exams, they do not really have any sort of, you know, expiration dates. Okay, so for example, which AI technique should be used to extract the name of a store from a photograph displaying the storefront? So depending on whatever you choose, the answer would be, you can choose the answer and click on this check your answer button to check whether the answer is correct or not. If the answer was somehow wrong, in that case, you would be able to go ahead basically and look into the correct answer as well as sum it up in order to summarize whatever you know about that service. You would also be able to read about that service in very brief. You also find a documentation about the service that was covered directly so that you can go ahead and read about the service under which this particular service is present. So this was about where to study from.
Sayan, sorry for interrupting.
Yes, hello.
Some of the participants are asking how to register for offline centers also.
Okay. For offline centers, the process is a bit different, and once again, the process will be different for you as well because test centers available for around your region will be different. But let us go ahead and explore that option. I personally have never appeared for the test center option actually. So let us go ahead and check that option. In person at a test center, just choose the first option. Okay. And once again, go make sure to go ahead and go through the process that you need to follow for appearing for the examination at a test center. Make sure to watch this video as well as some items that are not allowed during the in the exam center. So please go ahead and go through these lists. Once that is done, next, choose the language for the exam. Agree to these policies. So there are some additional bunch of rules. For example, 15 minutes before the scheduled appointment time is what you need to be at. Okay, you will be required to present one form of original and valid government issued ID card that includes your name, photograph, and stuff. First and last name you used to register must match exactly the first and last name of the ID card. And if you do not have any qualifying ID issued from the country you are testing in, and international travel, passport from the country of citizenship is required. An exam process will require your digital signature and your digital photograph. You will not be allowed in with bags, books, notes, PC, mobile phone, watches, wallets, etc. So keep all of these out of the test center basically. Rescheduling and cancelling the examination has the same rule. That is, if you want, you can do that 24 hours prior to the scheduled exam time. Okay. Now, choose the location where you are for the examination. And if you scroll down a bit below, these are all the different examination centers that are available around your region. So go through these different examination centers that are available for you. Choose the center that you want and click on next. Now, once that is done, simply go ahead and choose the date that you want for the examination. Once again, if you want to change the time, click on explore more times in order to go ahead and register for the time that you want. Now, since these are offline test centers, the test would only be available during the daytime. Night times are not allowed over here. So go ahead and choose whatever time you want. For example, 11:30 in the morning, let us say, and book this appointment. Now, on the next page, once again, review all the information that you have filled in. Scroll down and click on proceed to checkout, and make add the voucher code that will be available over here. Okay. And once again, if you have any promotion code applied, since I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, I have a 75% off already applicable for me. If this is the case for any of you, make sure to remove it. Otherwise, the voucher would not be applicable. That was the process to register for the examination from an online test center. Okay,
Sorry to
so
interrupt. Could you please show the process to add the voucher again?
just scroll to the checkout page. Click on this add a voucher button and add the voucher over here. Once done, click on apply. As simple as that. And yes, the voucher will be distributed based on attendance, but don't worry, for the people who were present in the session, your attendance has been marked automatically. It looks like the rest of the questions have been answered by Arun. Okay, perfect. So until now, we have discussed the first three things that I mentioned that we are going to discuss about the examination prep session. That was how to register for the exam, done. The rules and regulations of the exam, done. Where to study for the exam, done. And for the quiz, okay, the quiz, I believe I have already shared the URL over the chat already. Yes, so this is the URL of the quiz. I will once again share this. But once again, if you try to go through this quiz, as of now, there can be some questions, that contains details about the services that have not been covered in the presentation. So you are expected to go through the course URL before appearing for the quiz because there are some advanced level concepts that are being discussed in the documentations from which questions might be there in this quiz. Now, to discuss about dumps, actually, dumps are something that are available, but dumps are not available for free, unfortunately. So you will have to purchase the dumps. You can simply open your browser and search for AI 900 dumps, which I'll unfortunately not be able to do so because the meeting is being recorded. Are we going to get a link to download the required browser, or can we download from the internet directly? Ramita, actually, the moment you get the check-in option over your email and you check into the examination, the OnVUE browser will be downloaded automatically on your system, which I believe should look. This is the application. This is the OnVUE browser that would download automatically. Excellent. We double clicked on it. Okay, not an issue. But the OnView browser would be downloaded automatically and it would look something like this. The access code would be filled up automatically, but if it is not, you can always refer to the invitation email that you will receive over the mail ID that you would have used in order to register for the exam. And guys, once again, make sure that when you are appearing for the examination, always use your personal email ID. If during the checks my room is not aligned with the requirements, is the exam going to shut down automatically or I have a chance to enter the surroundings? Corina, usually this check that I mentioned, no, it is not going to happen with the help of an AI proctor or something. Once again, there will be a human proctor. Now, this individual is going to ask you to show them around the room, but once again, that is not always the case. For example, I have had people who were not interested in seeing my room or seeing where I kept my mobile phone. They were like, okay, so here you are, go ahead and start the examination. Right. So there can be a case where they do not ask you. There can be a case where they do ask you to show you around the room, show them around the room. Now, if that is the case, and if they do not find anything which goes along with the examination policy, at that point of time, they would give you a chance to change whatever they do not like. Usually, that is not the case if you do not have anything around your desk And if you do not have a source of light coming into the webcam directly, the proctors, they are not going to mention anything. Everything is going to. And yes, personal ID for examination is always recommended because once again, the certification would be added against your personal email ID. That is your personal achievement. And the linking process, is once again for the linking process of your personal email ID with entity data account. Make sure to get in touch with the respective person, the concerned person from entity data itself in order to understand. How useful is AI 900 for career opportunities if I am a beginner? Shweta, AI 900 is planned for beginners only, and this is basically an entry point to advanced level courses like AI 102 or DP 100. Now, AI 102, this is going to include every single service that we discussed in AI 900. But there were some topics that AI 900 did not cover. Those topics will be covered in AI 102. For example, the search service that I mentioned. Search service is going to be present in AI 102, as well as some advanced level use cases of the natural language processing or the computer vision service. All of that would be included in AI 102. And for data engineers who want to work with the Azure Machine Learning Service, DP100 is the course. So AI 900 basically builds the fundamental understanding of the services that are available, and it gives you an entry point into these advanced courses. Now, talking from a career point of view, AI 900 does not hold that much weightage because once again, it is a very beginner friendly course. AI 102 or DP 100, if you complete any of them and if you integrate them with your own development knowledge, they can give you a significant boost in your career. Okay. And once again, there are terms available. And in AI 102, yes, hands-on labs are available, which you can work with that contains services that we discussed in AI 900 as well. And once again, dumps are available. All you need to do is simply search for AI 900 dumps on any browser. There are sites like examtopics.com or CertiIQ or IT exams. These three are the most popular sites available that you can refer to in order to go through the dumps. When I Databricks AI Associate certification, I am not really sure about that. I have not explored its details, so I'm so sorry I'll not be able to provide you any information about that. All right, team. So that was it about the exam prep session. Now let me quickly share the feedback form that I already had opened actually while I